Woke up at 4 o'clock like it was 2 in the afternoon. Hi, mommy. How you doing? What you doing? Where you going? Oh, okay. If you don't go sleep, yesterday, I attended an amazing event at UMass Boston. C-Plan, the Collaborative Parent Leadership Action Network, which works with parents across all sectors, whether it's parochial, private, public, charter, all parents just wanting the best for their children, had an event last night at UMass Boston in collaboration with the William Moore and Trotter Institute. The Redesigning Our School Culture, Understanding the Kids We Teach. Ron Walker, founder and executive director of Coalition of Schools Educating Boys of Color. Dr. Colin Rose, assistant superintendent of Opportunity Achievement Gap for the Boston Public Schools. Camilla Sherwood, woo! That's my baby. Executive director of the Helen Y. Davis Leadership Academy, and Julia Cesar Roman, administrator for Youth Development Policy and Programming Specialist for the Boston Day and Night Academy. The event was absolutely amazing. We touched on topics that need to be addressed policy-wise. And one of the things that you will hear echo among all of our leaders is the fact that there is nothing our leaders can do if they don't have a pack of parents or a pack of people or just supporters behind them. What is a leader without supporters? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just one person walking alone. As far as news is concerned, There we go. Screw the next generation. And Harry Reid's a pompous, Democratic congressman writes an anonymous tell-all book slamming the nation of naive, self-absorbed sheep as he admits he never reads bills he voted on. My main job is to keep my job, to get reelected. It takes precedence over everything. An anonymous member of Congress writes in a new book. Voters are incredibly ignorant and know little about our form of government and how it works, he writes. It's far easier than you think to manipulate a nation of naive, self-absorbed sheep who crave instant gratification. The author is a Democrat in Congress who laid out his complaints to a longtime friend and former Capitol Hill staffer who edited them into a book. The Confessions of a Congressman X will be released May 24th by a small Minnesota-based Vanity Press publisher. I'd like to put this down for a minute. I want you to hear my voice loud and clear, all right? So one of the first things that I said was yesterday we had a conversation about school redesign and understanding our children that we teach, cultural competency, a skew of other things. And then I read you a story about how an anonymous congressman wrote that you, the voter, you, the listener, you, the constituent, you're lazy. It's easy to manipulate you. You want nothing more but instant gratification. You're self-absorbed. You're naive, and you're nothing more but a sheep. My only job is to get reelected. I'm glad this book is coming out. May 24th, I'll be the first one to buy this book because these are all the secrets to success. You want to make a change in this world? Find out what's not being done. Find out the secrets of the Confessions of a Congressman X. I'm wondering if it'll ever come out who Congressman X is and whether or not he's been a lifelong politician, a politician that's been in office all of his life, and what that means for me and you. The FBI director, the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations director, says that he feels pressure to wrap up the Hillary Clinton email probe, but insists he doesn't conduct security inquiries, only investigations. Baby, I'm going to need for you to do your job. I don't care, because if it was Tayla Andre, if it was anybody else in America, you would do your job and do it thoroughly, correct? So there's no reason why an FBI director should feel pressured to wrap this thing up. But that's what he said. Hillary Clinton and her aides insist the FBI is conducting an intelligence review and security inquiry related to her infamous private email server. But the FBI director, James Comey, swatted that. He said the agency and the task force federal law only conducts investigation. It's in our name, he said, referring to the word investigation. I'm not familiar with the term security inquiry. He also insisted that the presidential election calendar will not dictate the pace of his investigation. Then why you say you feel pressured? It sounds like you're contradicting yourself, baby. He insisted that the presidential election calendar won't dictate the pace of his investigation and that Clinton will not be treated differently from any other investigation, but yet he feels pressure to wrap it up. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to stay on it. The silent cop car, the LAPD is testing the new Tesla Model S electric sedan that can go 0 from 60 in 2.8 seconds, real quick. The LAPD has training. They have 2 trial models, the SP85D. While it has impressive speed, the Tesla Model S may prove too expensive for the department. It is a retail at $100,000. The cheapest is $70,000, and that's more current with what cop cars cost today. The LAPD is also testing an all-electric BMW i3, which costs $43,000. If you go to Dubai, don't they have Bugattis? They have Bugattis for Lamborghinis for police cars. The police come, people think it's a car show. In other news, former New York State Senate leader Dean Skelos sentenced to 5 years in prison after federal extortion case. He is a Republican. He is 67 years old, and his 33-year-old son, Adam, were found guilty of federal extortion charges in December. On Thursday, the elder was sentenced to 5 years. The father was sentenced to 5 years in prison. His son received a sentence of 6.5 years. The sentences were significantly lower than prosecutors has asked for. Skelos was accused of strong-arming 3 companies with a state legislation into giving work to his son worth about $300,000. The scheme unraveled when investigators began recording phone calls between the father and son. And they caught him. Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord. In other news, there is a man who was stabbed. And instead of telling the police officers who stabbed him, my dude said, the New York man tells cops to F you with his dying breath rather than say who stabbed him. He was 23 years old. He was stabbed at 7 p.m. on Wednesday near Bedford Park in New York. Cops tried to get him to give up his killer, but he cursed them instead. 4 Hispanic men were reportedly fleeing the scene. Police are continuing to search for the attacker. And in his dying breath, F you. I'd rather die than tell you who killed me. I want to go back to yesterday when I brought up Bernie Mac. And Bernie Mac was like, Judge, I seen it. I know who did it. What is our society coming to? At this rate, it will be a very long time before every child gets to preschool. The Huffington Post has an article about how slowly but steadily states are making progress in the number of students that they serve in high-quality state-funded pre-K programs, Massachusetts here being one of them. However, this progress is uneven and leaves out droves of learners, droves of them. They found that the latest report looks at the 2014 to 2015 school year and the present at uneven pitches across the country, and what we're doing and how we're not serving young learners and how many children are left out. Only 29% of 4 and 5-year-olds are actually enrolled in state-funded preschool program, 29%. State pre-K is still far from where it needs to be to ensure that all children receive a high-quality education during the year or 2 before kindergarten, says some reports. If young children are to receive a high-quality education that leaves a sustained impact, state policies have to be changed. Standards must be raised, funding should be increased and stabilized. This will only happen if policymakers recognize that high-quality pre-K is a necessity, not a luxury that can be passed over when the budget gets tight. And this goes across all sectors when it comes to educating our babies, because we'll sit here and throw so much money into war, throw so much money into our police departments, and then always tell our schools that they need a cut. We need a cut. When's the last time the police department had a cut? When's the last time our military budget had a cut? How many stories have we read about programs and trials and tests that they're doing on missiles, on submarines, on guns, in tens of thousands of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars? I believe there were even some programs that were even hit $1 billion. Wasn't there was a submarine with sonar technology, and they were trying to learn more about the whales and how that sonar works. And it was over $1 billion budget. And this wasn't something that was utilized. It wasn't something that was implemented. It was just something that they put together and was like, hey, let's see if it works. That could have been one of BPS's school years. Hey, the truth hurts sometimes. You spend money on ridiculousness, but won't invest in our number one form of capital, and that's our people. I never understood why we spent so much money throwing people in jail. What is it? In the state of Massachusetts, $43,000 per person? But what is it, $22,000 that we spend on a child's education per year? It's disgusting. Wouldn't it be better if we sat there and took that money, invested in the person? If we invested $45,000, $42,000 into every person versus the $22,000 that we spend on every child. That child then has a quality education, goes to school, college, does a trade, starts paying taxes. Now we're making money off of you because they steal your taxes anyways. Isn't that more effective than stealing the taxpayers' money to put somebody in jail? For me, it's just common sense. It just makes sense. I want to say that's a Chica. For those who don't know, I am the social media director for a nonprofit, Chica Project, which is unapologetically Latina across the Commonwealth. And that's a Chica just represents a woman doing everything that she can, all that she can, beautiful inside, and now properly represents what a woman is. And 32-year-old Nigerian doctor, 32-year-old Nigerian doctor opened up her own emergency room in Texas. I'm not going to butcher the baby's name. Yes, I am. Foyokium Ikea. I butchered it. Is beyond remarkable. She was 33. The 31-year-old wife and mother recently opened up a Lifesavers emergency room in Houston, Texas. The Nigerian native is an alumna of the University of Wisconsin Schools of Medicine and Public Health. In 2012, she completed her residency in the emergency medicine at Emory School of Medicine and Public Health in Atlanta, Georgia. Then she moved to Houston, Texas, where she gained extensive experience working with the St. Luke's health system. The goal of Dr. F, we'll say that, hospital was to provide swift and efficient health care for patients, as well as a less bureaucratic work environment for medical professionals. That is a Chica. Go on, baby. Go on, baby. I'm so proud. I love reading stories like this. I love reading stories where our sisters, our brothers, all of us, we are our brothers' keepers. We are our sisters' keepers. And we have to acknowledge one another when we do something of significance. We're so quick to tear each other down. We're so quick to throw each other under the bus. We're so quick to love and hip-hop each other. But at no time do we ever feel like it's necessary to big up. Big up yourself. A piece of American history? I don't think so. George Zimmerman was auctioning off his gun that he used to kill Trayvon Martin. And they're trying to figure out whether or not the Smithsonian ever expressed that they wanted to buy it as a piece of American history. The Smithsonian tweeted, "We have never ever had interest in collecting George Zimmerman's firearm and have no plans of ever collecting or displaying it in any of our museums." What are you going to do with that man? What are you going to do with that man? Who was it? Jamal Crawford. Shout out to Jamal Crawford. Jamal said, is there anybody out there that practices voodoo? Can we please put a hex on this man? Can we please? Where the witch is at? Jamal's crazy. But I can't tell you the amount of people that were like, yes, I agree. Like, and like it some more. I want to give a huge shout out to all of the graduates. All of the graduates. Shout out to you. 4 years is finally done. Take that half off and get ready to start paying some student loans. Because that's the only thing that happened after graduation. Good luck finding a job, but you'll definitely find Sally Mae in your mailbox. Georgia State great-grandfather earns his 8th degree, his 8th college degree at 77 years old. He is a lawyer. He shows no sign of slowing down. Baby, if you are 57 years old, you don't know what you want to do with your life. You hate your job. You want to go back to school, but you feel like, you'll be the oldest person on campus. 77 years old, working on, just graduated this year. Shout out to the graduates on his 8th degree. 8th, not first, not second, not third, not even 5th. 8 different degrees. I want to know what his student loans look like. What those student loans look like, baby. It's probably about 800,000, about 100,000 per. Maybe about 650,000. Lord of mercy. For many, earning a 4-year college degree is a major task and accomplishment. Well, for the 77-year-old Elwood, Georgian man, that was just a start. Hurl Taylor, a prominent defense attorney, wore his college cap and gown for the 8th time to receive a master's for Emory University. He said that I'm really excited because I think sometimes senior citizens kind of pine away. They don't do a lot. Going back to school for me keeps the old mind very active, and I like academics. He's so handsome. I love it. I love it. Yesterday, what's his name? I named him. Ron Walker, the founder and executive director of Coalition for Schools Educating Boys of Color, admitted yesterday that he was 70 years old. And when I tell you black don't crack, because he looked like he was about like 50, maybe 65. I don't, 70 years old. I don't know what's in the water. It's that alkaline water. How ready you be? Mm-hmm. Violent crimes surge across the U.S. caused by viral video effect that have left cops too scared to do their job, says the FBI director. Isn't that the same director that said he felt pressured against Hillary Clinton? I'll wait. FBI Director James Comey. Oh, it is. Ha, ha, ha. I knew that. Okay. I'm feeling some type of way because I think James needs to reconsider whether or not he likes his job. There's no reason why you should ever feel pressured, even though you said that Hillary Clinton's status and the timing of the presidential, that's not going to, stop your hustle finding out what's going on with Hillary, right? Stop making excuses. That's how I feel. I feel like you're making excuses. Viral video effect has left cops too scared to do their jobs. But let me take you to this other report of cops that were caught on camera beating a suspect. So was the man on a high-speed chase? Yes. 100 miles an hour? Yes. The man was wanted on several warrants, failed to stop for police in Massachusetts, then left the officers on a chase into New Hampshire, driving up to 100 miles an hour. He was eventually cornered in Nashua before deciding to give himself up. He gave himself up. The helicopters were on him. He came up, hands up in the air. They could have taken him in and put him behind bars, right? That's what you're supposed to do, right? Instead, the news helicopter captured moments of the officers appearing, reportedly assaulting him. 2 cops seemed to hit the man in the head as he lay on the ground. But let's go back to the director of the FBI, Mr. Comey, who says that this viral video effect have cops too scared to do their job. I don't think your job is to beat the crap out of people. Every time I do that, I feel like Dick Gregory. Marginalized policing that can stop crime happening, he said, and he believes that this has led to the surge of violent crimes in the United States because police are too scared to actually do their job. They're too scared they're going to be caught on camera. Why don't you put on a body cam and it tells the whole truth, nothing but the truth? I promise to tell the truth. Body cameras could not only be helpful for us, the citizens, but it could be helpful to the police. Because they swear we lying on them. They swear that, go investigation, internal investigation for what? Our police officers are blameless. How many cases does Boston have that are still in limbo and been in limbo for over 5 years? I'll leave that there. But call me. I need you to figure out whether or not you like your job. And stop making excuses. Don't feel pressured by Hillary and say that cops can't do their job because they're afraid of being caught on video. If you don't beat the crap out of people, there's nothing to be scared of. If you do what you're supposed to do, there's nothing to be scared of. It's here in Boston, we are rolling out a trial of body cameras. It was all voluntary. I go back. I stand by my word. It should not have been voluntary at all. I think we should have looked at those internal investigations, find out who had the most complaints, and those are the officers that need to wear the body cameras. And then whoever else after that wants to be voluntary can be voluntary. But you with 17 complaints, you with 22 complaints, you with 37 complaints, you need to wear this camera. We need to find out where all these complaints are coming from and why. It takes you 30 days to change your behavior. 30 days. So I would love for those officers to have the mandatory body camera on them, because within those 30 days of the voluntary or involuntary act of wearing a camera, it changes their behavior, how they interact with people, because they're trying to prove for the camera that there's nothing to worry about. So within those 30 days, not only are you trying to prove to the camera that you can conduct yourself accordingly as a police officer, but you're actually proving it to yourself and altering yourself to be a better officer. I don't see why it shouldn't be mandatory across all of our states. My baby brother, Sean Michael, wanted to be a Navy SEAL. He wanted to be a Green Beret. He wanted to be all of the things that in the Army today. And I was scared to death when he wanted to leave. And one of the reasons why I was scared to death is because recently a trainee Naval SEAL died at 21 years old during the first week of basic training. He wasn't overseas. He wasn't in Afghanistan. He wasn't in the desert. He didn't go overseas. He was here in the United States in basic training the first week, 20 years old. After getting into a difficult position during the drown-proof exercise, Seaman James Derek Lovelance died at a base in California. I said Colorado, my bad. He was pulled out of the pool after getting into a difficult treading water. I don't even know what that means. How is it difficult to tread? Like, what were the components there that made it difficult to tread water? The Navy officials say that he was wearing camouflage and a dive mask at the time. He lost consciousness after he was removed, but died in the hospital. His exact cause of death is unknown. The baby drowned. It was supposed to be drown-proof exercise. The thing that disturbs me the most is the fact that 1 in every 20 deaths of soldiers, sailors, and airmen happen during training and or exercises, according to the latest figures from the Ministry of Defense. A total of 131 personnel have died since 2000, just simply over accidents. 131 have died simply in basic training. That baby was 21 years old. The first week, he just gave his mom a hug and a kiss and said, I'll be back. I'm just going to training. How many times, Mom, don't worry. It's just training. That's the same thing my brother told me when he said he wanted to go to boot camp. I thank God's lucky stripes that boy smokes entirely too much weed to go anywhere. I really did. I prayed that he went nowhere. And he ended up staying home. George W. Bush Presidential Library releases over 1,000 documents related to the Skull and Bones Secret Society in July. George W. Bush Presidential Library in Dallas is set to release 1,650 documents relating to the Skull and Bones Society. Requested through the Freedom of Information Act, the 43rd president was a member of the secret society during his time as a student at Yale during the 1960s. Both his father and former President George H.W. Bush and grandfather Prescott Bush were also members of the society. The group remains on campus to this day, and members meet twice weekly in a windowless building called the Tomb. Which is kind of interesting because a lot of there was a lot of controversy of the Skull and Bones, and a lot of people, like conspiracy theorists, were really big on it, and it's been, in a sense, denied over and over and over again. No. But now over 1,000 documents are set to be released. Question though, how many documents are in total? If 1,650 are going to be released, I would love to know what that total number is. Can't release everything. It is what it is. Que sera, sera. Today for Power Hour, we have an amazing guest. You guys remember Is This Your Man? Colin Tate, author and relationship coach. Is This Your Man? Going through the 7 different types of men. You remember that? So Freaky Friday isn't that freaky. It's kind of controversial though. Can you heal from a relationship? Can you heal from your ex cheating on you? Well, I hope it would be your ex after they cheated. But can you heal from being cheated on? Can that relationship heal? Good rising, Colin, you live.
Hey, Tayla, this is Colin and Coach Ella.
Yes, right on time, baby, right on time. So I was just introducing you, Colin. We've had you on previously on this Is This Your Man? We also have Coach Ellis Crum, relationship and life coach of The Rules. I've never seen the Rules before, but it looks absolutely amazing. The Rules with Coach Ellis and friends. Please, both of you, introduce yourself to the listeners, what your books are about briefly. Is This Your Man and The Rules? And then we'll get into the topic of whether or not you can heal from a relationship infidelity.
Coach, you can go first, sir. All right, great. Look, I'm Coach Ellis, and I am the principal for The Rules, the RULC. Our moniker simply is, if you know the rules, you can't get played. These are the rules of a relationship, of romance, of love. From a man's perspective, it's not how to get a woman. It's not how to get a man. It's not any of that. It's how not to be played. Because whether you are a young lady of 22 or 102, you fall for the same games the guys play, and we play the same games whether we're 12 or 112. And so we try to help women 30 and over get to a place where they understand who they are. They understand how to protect the cookie jar. They understand how to recover from bad breakups. They understand how to not fall for the games that every man plays.
I think I want this book, The Rules. This sounds like a very interesting read.
Well, the book is coming out right now. We're in the process. We have a radio show, and we're in the process of starting a TV show, and we're writing the book. We've been doing this for probably about a year and a half now, and we have 12 rules now, but I'm sure there are more. But the book will be out sometime in July, August, because Nikki Curry is insisting I get it out. So, I really thank you, Nikki.
Yes, Nikki Curry. Shout out to Nikki Curry, the best publicist on earth. Colin, you want to remind the listeners of what This Is Your Man is all about?
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Colin Tate. I'm the author of the book called Is This Your Man?
It features real men telling real stories, and it is about the 6 types of men women should avoid dating if they want a healthy, sustainable relationship that can lead to marriage. Over the last 5 years, I've interviewed over 1,000 men and women from different backgrounds, ages, races, and women. If you are frustrated with dating, if you are tired of the process, if you are ready to give up, if you are even blaming God for why you are single, you have run into one of these 6 men every single time. These men are going to break down from cradle to grave why they play you, why they manipulate you, why sometimes they even abuse you. Their names have all been changed, so they have the freedom to speak as honestly and openly as they feel, because they know this information is not going to get traced back to them. But after you read this book, you will know for sure or not if you are dating one of these men.
Colin, you make us want to go back and reread that book too. And for those who have never heard that show, I'll go ahead and post it up on the Wake Up with Tayla Andre page so you guys can re-listen to that show where he talks about, Colin, correct me if I'm wrong, 6 different types of men?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 6 different types of men, and whether or not that is your man, and whether or not that represents who or who shouldn't be your husband. So today we are discussing 617-282-0062, whether or not a relationship can heal after infidelity, after cheating, regardless of which side, male, female, cheated. So I'm ready, set. I'm female on this panel though. Now that I'm thinking about it, because this is from a male's perspective, like you guys are the only ones who cheat. That's how I just get a chuckle. So can you heal from infidelity? Whether it's dating, whether it's marriage, whether that's your baby mama, if you cheated on her, can that relationship heal?
Coach, you want to start, Colin? All right, I'll start. Go ahead, jump in, Colin. Okay, so here's the thing. I do believe at some point in most of us men, we have cheated on somebody. You know, whether you're faithful to your wife now, but you cheated on your girlfriend 10 years ago. Men, most of us at some point are trying to sleep with as many women as we possibly can. That's just how we are made up. Now, if a man can stop cheating, in my opinion, when a man has started cheating on you, there is a highly unlikely chance that all of a sudden he's just going to stop. Now, when you're married, there's a whole different dynamic to that. I mean, you can go through counseling. There has to be a deep-rooted change for this behavior to stop. Because if a man has been cheating on you, first of all, you have to start asking yourself, why are you tolerating this behavior? Ladies, men, we would not tolerate 10% of what we put you guys through. We wouldn't tolerate it. Yep. And the reason we wouldn't tolerate it is because we know we could do better and we know we deserve better. Today in Africa, I said, if you had a job that disrespected you, if you had a job that all of a sudden stopped paying you, would you stay? She said no, because she knows she can do better. So once you women are confident in your ability to do it and find better, you won't tolerate this kind of behavior one more second. All right, so look. It all depends what you call cheating. And this is one of the things that we really have to understand. If I'm not in covenant with you, can I cheat on you? I don't.
Wow. Okay.
And you don't belong to me. So, you know, everybody's getting all heartbroken over boyfriends and girlfriends cheating, but you don't belong to each other. So I would say that if I disrespected you, that might be a deal breaker, but I can't cheat on you if I don't belong to you. So, but if I'm in covenant with you and I belong to you, you belong to me, yes, there's recovery because we got more at stake. It's not simply a booty call. It's not simply something I'm doing. It's something going on. And if a man cheats, first of all, I believe what Colin says. We're trying to rack up the numbers. But if you know if there's every infidelity, there are always 2 questions that are asked. And in the hundreds of couples that I've counseled and coached, these questions invariably happen. When she is accused of infidelity, he asks her, have you slept with him? When he's accused, she asks him, are you in love with her? And the reason is, that she's more afraid because she's more afraid that he is emotionally attached to this woman. He's more afraid someone's addicted to his cookie jar. Yeah. A guy is less likely to forgive her if she has slept with somebody because she has now received another man. She is more likely to forgive him because it's an external expression from a man, not an internal expression. But if he starts to cheat, it's difficult for him to come out of that because there's something that he or she is not receiving or perceived and not receiving, and they both have totally other in their own special way. You got to raise your game, and the cheated one, the victim of the cheating, didn't raise their game. The other thing, Tayla, that we really got to look at is if your man or woman cheats on you, we like to place all blame on the cheater. And my question is, what condition did you allow to exist that made cheating a viable option for your man or woman?
So is that not placing blame and taking lack of responsibility? Because regardless of what is done on the other side, it's your actions. No one did, like, even if it's for 5 years, it's been the worst relationship, you can leave. You don't have to cheat. You can get up and leave the relationship. So regardless of what took place or what wasn't done or what wasn't said or what wasn't, expressed, the actions of the cheater, I don't understand how we can put it back on the, not really the victim, but the one that was cheated on. You have to take responsibility for your actions. You could have left the relationship and did what you wanted to do.
All right, so this isn't placing blame on the victim, and that's why, especially a lot of women get all uptight about this. But here's what happens. It takes two to tango. And while it's not your fault what I do, I am responsible for it. You can't make me or make me do or not do something, but you can make it easier or harder for me to do it. So it's not your fault I cheated on you, but you really have to, and I have to take full responsibility for making the decision to cheat. What you have to examine is, did you make it easier for me to make that decision? Because you weren't responsive to me, because you wouldn't be quiet when I came home. All I needed was 20 minutes of rest and peace before I engaged with you. Whatever the case is, did you make it easier for me to go someplace else? Not your fault I went, but you have to examine whether or not you help create the condition.
Okay.
Because that's something in you that will pass on, that'll be baggage you will carry to your next relationship if you don't understand how you help set conditions.
So here's my thing on that as well. You cannot control what another person does. You're absolutely right. If somebody arbitrarily cheats on you, you're right, that is completely something out of your control initially. Now, I agree with Coach there. There's sometimes things that are contributing, and again, this is not excusing it. There's sometimes things that are contributing factors, and I'm speaking about men, to why a man may step out. However, it is a woman's fault for continuing to stay and put up with it. Because, see, there's an old saying, hell have no fury when a woman's scorned. I'm going to say I disagree with that, because a man's emotions are the last thing to come. When a man's emotions get hurt, you really need to watch out, because we are not equipped to handle what we put you women through. We're one woman told me men have all the power. It's not fair. I said no. It all balances. Men cannot deal with the heartache on the back end. We can't deal with getting cheated on left and right. We can't deal with the fact that you're having an emotional affair with a man. We can't deal with the fact that another guy picks you up in his beautiful car. We can't handle that. We go crazy. But on the front side, women can't deal with the rejection that a man deals with every single day. Every man who's listening, Coach, I'm sure has experienced this. We talk to 10 women, we're going to have 8 of them or 7 of them reject us. Some of them may cut us down like we're a homeless man off the street. So the whole thing with this cheating behavior, it's all about, are you going to accept it? And then you have to look at yourself. If you continue to get
Nikki, you still here?
You got to start looking at yourself in the mirror, because when you are in a bad relationship or having good news or has bad news. The bad news is you. The good news is all for you. Meaning you are in total control of fixing why you keep bringing these same men into your life. So if you know the rules, that's great. But if you keep getting the same guy every single time, you got to figure out what's happening. So
Coach Ellis has a tics room. So one of the first and foremost, for those who want to hit me up anonymously, TaylaAndre. If you want to be a part of the conversation, can a relationship heal after infidelity, after cheating? 617-282-0062. I have Facebook messages here who said, Coach Ellis, I can't believe you just said that unless you're married, a person can't cheat on you. What about all the other relationships that have been together 25 years, 35 years, and the people don't believe in marriage? That means that that person can't cheat. That's BS.
Well, I appreciate the call, and they're entitled to be wrong. I'm okay with that. So, I'm just kidding. But here's the thing. If you don't believe in marriage, and I respect that some people don't believe in marriage, but if marriage isn't simply a piece of paper that you go down to the courthouse and get. Marriage is a lifestyle in which you live. It is a covenant agreement that you make with somebody, whether you believe in God or not. I got it. So, but a rose by any other name is still a rose. It still smells the same. We live together. We live together. We share bank accounts, pay bills together. We probably have kids together. We've been together 25 years. We're married. I don't care what you call it. That is a monogamous, long-term, exclusive relationship.
So when you say unless you're married, you can't be cheated on, you mean if you guys are just dating? If he lives at his house, she lives at her house, and they date other people, like non-committed relationships, that's what you mean?
What I mean is that if we have not had the talk, okay, that we are in a long-term, committed, monogamous, exclusive relationship, and we are living together, then we are in a marriage. That's what it is. Now, if you don't believe in the institution of marriage, okay, you may not believe in the institution of marriage, but that you are a married couple. In many states, if one of you die, you're not common law. You're married. It's a contract. So if you don't belong to me, and I don't belong to you, if you are not flesh of my flesh and bone of my bone, if you are not my rib, then I can't cheat on you. And people are entitled to disagree, but I will tell you that the only way I can cheat on you is I have to be in a relationship where cheating is illegal. Otherwise, I'm just dating you. I'm just shacking up with you. I'm having cookie jar encounters with you on a regular basis.
Cookie jars encounters.
Because I don't marry you. I'm not wifing you. I'm pillowing you. I'm not wifing you. So yeah, I stick by it. You cannot be cheated on if you are not in a marriage relationship.
Wow.
Call it, but it's a marriage relationship.
And is this: if women have not had that talk with men about where this relationship is, you have no
Pause. What do you mean if women haven't had that talk with men? Y'all need to start talking to us about what y'all want. I shouldn't have to ask you what you want.
Let me tell you what I mean. There are a lot of women make assumptions of where this relationship is going because we have had together, because we have had these dates, but we still haven't had the conversation. Even with my wife before we got married, when I said, you know what, let's make this serious, she said, I thought we were. So men will have that conversation with you about where we stand, where we are going, what we are doing. That's when men are serious. They will have the conversation. But if a man has not had that conversation with you about we are in an exclusive, monogamous relationship, don't just assume because we are having sex, we're having a few first great dates, or you may have met my family, because I know plenty of men that introduce their mothers all the time, and it means absolutely nothing. A man will have that conversation with you, and every man who has been married will tell you they had a conversation about, let's take this thing official with my girlfriend.
Have a
They
good
had a
day.
conversation about, would you marry me? It's not assumed that he's just not going to just put a ring on you. There is a conversation because we want to make it crystal clear where you stand, and that's how you know if a man is serious about you. Ladies, this is the key. If you are dating a man and you have to ask your family, your friends, your stranger on the internet, what's going on, those are what we call mixed signals. Because when a man is serious, he will be crystal clear, just like that man who you probably weren't attracted to, but you knew for a fact he liked you because there was no question. And when you deal with the man, there's two things you must remember. One, listen to what a man does, not what he says. A man's actions will tell you everything. And number two, follow your instincts or your emotions. Your instincts are God telling you what's going on. Stay away, stop, leave them alone. But your emotions,
Your soul knows everything.
Ladies, if you follow those two rules, and if you get mixed signals, you have your answer. It's that simple.
Hold on. For the slow people, I need you to repeat that. What are the two rules?
The two rules are this: is one, listen to what a man does, not what he says. Our actions will tell you everything. And two, follow your instincts and ignore your emotions. Your instincts are God talking to you, warning you, telling you to stay away. That sixth sense of, I think he's doing something. But your emotions get caught up in it, and they want you to ignore it. And ladies, you have the power. I'm telling you, you have so much power, but once your emotions get involved, the logic goes away. And men, we know that.
And y'all take so advantage. We currently have callers on the line, 617-282-0062. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to YouTube Live. If you guys don't want to listen, you want to watch, you can do that as well. Good rising caller, you're live. I'm super fantastic. How are you?
Okay. Just two quick points. One, there's a difference between being a man and being a male. I am tired of males telling women what men do. If you cheat and a serial cheater, you're not a man. Just because you have a penis, that makes you a male. Your actions determine if you're a man or a male. And as soon as our women can just make the distinction between the two groups, then they'll have less heartache. And these guys cannot talk about men's behavior based on what happens here in Europe and America. There's over 3.5 billion males, males, and some are men and some are males on this planet. So unless we talk to at least 1 billion people, these so-called experts are just giving opinions. Now, they might have some in-depth thoughts to them, but they can't give a woman a fact like this is what men do, and they haven't spoken to some guy in some village in South America who's only been with one woman his entire life.
That is Mr. Nubian, you guys.
Feedback on this. First of all, I'm not an expert. I am just a man who I believe I can help women with better understanding relationships. I don't think I'm an expert because that means there's nothing I can't learn, and I know everything that can be learned. So I will say I'm not an expert. But however, generally speaking, I think that's what me and Coach are doing. There are exceptions to every rule in the world, but generally speaking, men, we're pretty simple. We either want you or we don't. Whether in the caller says some men are men, some men are male. That same guy determines who he's going to be a male with and who he's going to be a man with. We know what to do. The girl on Thursday, we may be a male or a boy and just play around with her. But the woman on Friday, we will be serious with. Because we know what to do. We know how to be faithful. We know how to be committed. We know how to call when we say we're supposed to call. We know how to follow up when we're supposed to follow up. We simply choose who we want to treat right and who we want to treat wrong. The same guy that they had dogged the woman out last year will turn around and treat another woman like a queen, because with men, it's about choice.
So, go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach.
And understanding that, and I agree that experts, here's what I know, that in the hundreds of folks that I've talked to in the last year and the thousands of folks I've talked to in the last 15, 20 years on 5 different continents of different ages, different races, different creeds, the rules that I'm talking about are consistent across the world. They're consistent. And the reason is that in the male DNA, we all go to the same male finishing school. Because it doesn't matter whether you can speak the language, ever met the people, whether you're Christian, Muslim, or anything else, we play the same games. Influence irrigations, we play the same games. So I don't know where it comes from, man. And the idea of being male or a boy or a man, here's the thing. When at the end of the day, just like Colin said, we will treat someone like a bench warmer and someone else like our star player. And we're the same guy. It really doesn't matter what the only difference is how we choose to see them and how they present themselves to us. So we're all men. We're all men. We just have different ways we treat different people.
Okay. All right. Well, we have another call on the line, 617-282-0062. We are currently on the line with Coach Ellis as well as Colin Tate, and we're talking this rising about whether or not you can heal from a relationship, somebody cheating on you. Can you heal from infidelity? Can a relationship heal after one party has cheated, or maybe even both parties? Because sometimes you gotta score. How's that feel? Good rising, caller, you're live.
Good morning, Miss Tayla. How are you?
Super fantastic. How are you, baby?
I'm good. I just wanted to touch base on something that the coach said in regards to. It's funny because I had this conversation with my better half yesterday. It's not. I don't. At a certain age, we're 40 years old, and I don't believe in such things as mixed feelings. I believe in you say what you mean and mean what you say. And I'm saying that to say there's no. I leave the mixed feelings for the teenagers and relationships in their early 20s, maybe not decided. But once you reach a certain age, there's no mixed feelings.
It's time to grow up.
Say what you mean and mean what you say. And I think once you get involved with someone, however, all relationships, of course, start as friendships. You have to have that conversation from the beginning.
Hey, baby!
There's no such thing as waiting for time. If you're going to be with someone and in a year, like you haven't had the conversation of where this is going to go, it's just a waste of time. So I think that should take place prior to getting involved as a friendship or however you want to lead, so you can have an idea. And it won't be no mixed feelings or misunderstandings in that regards. That's just my opinion on it. But that mixed feelings, I don't think there's no such thing as mixed feelings. I mean, you got to express yourself, mean it, and make sure you're sincere about it, and make sure the other party understands where you're coming from. If you're not on the same page and your mindset's not the same, it's not going to work. If you don't have the same goals and agenda, it's just not going to work. Someone to be with you. A male can't force a woman. Either way it goes, you can't just force someone. But if you're not on the same page and have the same mindset, it's a waste of time.
Thank you, baby. Love and appreciate you. You guys want to piggyback off that?
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah,
go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to tell her that one thing that is different about this young lady that a lot of women I speak with, I can tell she's very secure in who she is. I can tell she's very confident in her ability to keep a man. I can tell she's the leader. She doesn't see mixed signals because the minute she sees a red flag, she's out.
Hey.
She doesn't try to rationalize and negotiate. Well, what does this mean? What? She's very black and white. And I'm going to tell that caller, if more women thought like you, me and Coach wouldn't be in business. The problem is a lot of women don't have that black and white way of thinking. And a lot of the women who do deal with the mixed signals that you don't see, that the reason they see them is because it always goes back to to deeper issues with them. Deeper issues to whether they have abandonment issues with mother or father. I've dealt with women who may have dealt with some abuse in their past. They may have been teased, or they may have issues with their own physical appearance. And what happens is the reason these men continue to come into their lives is because they have a void that they're looking for these men to fill. And only the women or guys can fill that void. They keep looking for men to fill that void in their life. They're going to choose badly every single time. So what we are trying to do is to help you spot the wrong men coming 3 miles away, because there are a lot of great guys out there. Trust me, there are plenty of great guys out there.
617-282-0062.
Knowledge to recognize a good man from a bad one before you invest too much of your time and heart. It's that simple.
So one of the things that the caller said was the fact that, you know, closer to a year, you guys need to have that conversation. Should you even wait that long to have that conversation?
Well, here's the thing.
617-282-0062.
Because I'm gonna let you assume if you want to assume. Because if you assume that, someone else is assuming that, and I'm good. When we had the conversation, we looked me in my eyeballs, we had the conversation. Look, coach, I want to be in an exclusive, monogamous, long-term relationship. Or
can a relationship heal from infidelity?
We are in a relationship. We gotta have that, because if we don't, I will let you assume. I will certainly will. It ain't my fault that you get your feelings hurt. So the other piece of that is that whether it's a year, you know, that's why I can live with you for 10, 15, 20 years. We ain't had a conversation. I can live with you for that long. You know, we can have cookie jar encounters. We can even have a couple of babies on the way.
Cookie jar encounters.
But if I choose to step out and go someplace else, we ain't had a conversation.
Yeah.
So when you're ready for it, have it. Because I'm not going to be ready for that conversation till I've completed all my other options, or I am so into you, I want to take you off the market.
Yep. When coaches describe Tayla, one of the men in my book is called the BSer, and he just described what a BSer does. And he will stay in a relationship with you for, you know, you may have a child together, you may be in a long-term relationship, you may live together, but he's never fully committed to you. You've always assumed he's cheating, you've always suspected he's cheating, but the risk of dating a BSer and hoping he will just one day change his mind, if a BSer will be with you for 3 years, next thing you know, you break up, he's married the next one for 6 months. Ladies, don't risk it. If a man is going to lock it down, he's not going to play around with it. But those BSers, oh yeah, they'll disappear for days, weeks, months at a time. You can't reach them, you can't find them. You know, you don't go to their mother's house, he doesn't go to your house. You know, it all encompasses that. So what Coach just described is BSer.
A BSer. So does a BSer have to necessarily disappear? Because that BSer could always be around and always like have excuses. Does the BSer necessarily have to be the one that goes popping up and missing every few weeks?
Well, no. See, there's 2 forms of them. You got the one that's invested, and the invested BSer is the one where the relationship has more invested into it, where Coach just described, y'all may live together, you may have a child together, you may even be engaged for 5 or 6 years, but he's still evaluating the relationship, and you're trying to figure out why he hasn't fully committed. Then you have the unvested BSer, where it's more an on and off again relationship, and that's where the guy disappears for the days, weeks, months at a time, boomerangs back into your life, promises never to do it again, he disappears again. You haven't met his mom. He hasn't met your parents. He doesn't make it for Thanksgiving. He has all the excuses in the world. So the BS can be 2 different forms depending on the woman he's with.
Keep on running in and out of my life. Okay, I'm sorry. But we do have a call on the line, 617-282-0062. Can you heal from relationship infidelity? Whether he cheated, whether she cheated, whether you both cheated, can you heal from a relationship infidelity? 617-282-0062, TAYLA-ANDRE. Good Rising Caller, you're live.
Hello.
Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm well. I do want to say something about the BSer. You can be honest with someone and still ask them the question, and they'll give you promises that they're not going to keep.
That man is called the chameleon in my book. The chameleon is the type of man that will adjust his personality, his views, his beliefs to fit whatever woman he is dating. So if you want a long-term relationship, guess what? He wants one too. If you don't drink, guess what? He doesn't drink too. So the thing with chameleon, he is a gatherer of information. He wants to hear what you want so he can make himself tailor-made the fit exactly what you're looking for. But he's only in it for a short period of game. So he's going to bring 5 months worth of dates in a 1 month span. You're going to think you found Mr. Wonderful. But once he has sex with you, he's out. And chameleons are big about going into what I like to call the witness protection program. He will disappear. You can call him, you can email him, you can send that text and say, hey, I just want to make sure you're okay. He will not respond.
A lot of mercy. We haven't. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach.
What are these guys doing? And you talk about community BS, and I love those analogies. For me, what I'm doing as a team owner, I'm recruiting. So I'm recruiting you to sit on my bench, which simply means that you're a bench warmer. You're there for my pleasure. Whether you get into the game every week, get in the game once a month, get in the game a couple times a year, once every 5 or 6 years. I've recruited you and I've conditioned you to accept my behavior. And I've either slow walked you there or I put it out front because I know that you're the type that you can go with it. But I've conditioned you to accept my behavior. So when you get mad and upset, it's your fault. I already told you what I'm going to do with you. I already told you how I'm going to set you up on the team. And at the end of the day, you're there for my pleasure, not for your pleasure. That's why I can call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's why I can disappear for 3 or 4 months and come back and give you a call. And you're ready to see that I have conditioned you to be on my team.
Ooh, BS.
A lot of mercy. That's some serious stuff right there. What about? I have a question about. Never mind. This phone line's going crazy. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Good rising, caller, you're live. It's you, baby. Good right. Hey.
Hey, how are you? My name. I guess I feel like when it comes to cheating, that if you stay is because you choose to stay or you choose to get past it. Because a lot of times, just like forgiveness, like sometimes I say I forgive you, but in the back of my head, I didn't really forgive you. But if you want to deal or live with mistrust, it's kind of up to you to deal with that. Like if he's texting you in the morning now, is it only you he's texting? Do you want those thoughts?
Yeah.
Like, can you really get past it? If you cannot get past it, it's no need to stay in it because you're just hurting you and the other person.
Yep. Okay then. Men, y'all want to piggyback off that?
You want to go, Coach?
Yeah. I hear you. And it's great when it works out that way. But here's the honest truth. If I've done my job right as a team owner, and if I have conditioned you appropriately, and make no doubt about it, I use the word condition for a purpose because that's what men do. We condition you. We help form you into what's useful for us. If I've done that properly, you're free to hear all you want. How many women do you know that know their man is no good, but won't leave him for nothing? Because he has conditioned you. And so it's great when you get your own freedom and you can break away, but most women cannot or do not because they have been conditioned. And because we'll come back and say, hey, look, 95% of me is great. You really gonna throw away 95% for that little 5%? It doesn't even mean a whole lot to me. And we'll have those conversations because not that we want to hurt you, but we don't want you to quit us because I'm the team owner. I get to hurt you. I get to put you on waivers. You don't get to go out and shop for your own new team.
Yeah. So what one of the things Coach is describing is a term I like to call keeping you in play. And I keep going back to a BS in my book because he seems to be one of the common men. The keeping you in play is where he will do just enough to keep you engaged, so you won't quit the team as the analogy Coach just gave. And sometimes what BS will do, I've noticed that women give men benefits of the doubt. And the benefit of the doubt is when you make excuses for his excuses. For example, if a guy tells you, oh no, that wasn't what you saw when you were your friends. Oh no, that your friend thought I was out with her, but that's not the case. And when you keep giving us the benefit of the doubt and your friends giving you the benefit
because when women are the team owners and when we the one that got Negroes sitting on the bench with a horse, that's why they the team owners.
Tell you is there's a theory for every rap you see, there's 10 you don't. Follow your instincts. I'm telling you, God gave you ladies that inner voice.
So we have a question over here really quickly. We have a question over here about what about the women who were cheated on and never knew anything? What about the women that didn't see any signs? There were no instinctive feelings. Everything was cool until I found out it wasn't.
Well, let me.
All right, I'm gonna throw a flag on that one. I'm gonna throw a flag on that one because there are always signs. Yeah. Now, just because you didn't recognize it, after you find out you cheated, you're having a VA moment. That's what that meant. Oh, it becomes crystal clear to you. And it wasn't that the signs weren't there. You chose to turn. I have a colleague who uses this phrase. Ross Silk uses this phrase, the BS detector. You turned off your BS detector because you were so in lust. He answered so many of the other things that you turned off your instinct. You turned off your BS detector. Mm-hmm. And now that it has come up and it bit you in your behind, now you have a big moment. Oh, I should have seen that.
I should have seen it.
And it was there all the time. So there's no such thing that there was no sign. You chose not to see them.
I totally agree, Coach. There are, one of the things when women read my book, and they actually get upset because now they're able to see how these men were really thinking behind closed doors. So, Coach is right. There are signs. There are always signs. And what happens when I actually talk and counsel women and I point them out,
Cleon, I got you.
Like Coach said, they have that V8 moment and they start kicking themselves. So once you understand
YouTube, we got Facebook Live on, and some questions are popping up.
Coach is talking about, you will feel more empowered. You will feel more engaged. You will feel more capable of choosing better men. And if you still are choosing bad men, you are the common denominator. I had to do the same thing when I found my wife. I was the common denominator. I had to stop blaming women for why I was single. Just like I tell women, you got to stop blaming men for why you're single. You are the common denominator. You just got to figure out what you're doing wrong.
So one of the things I want to go back to is you mentioned that a man can treat one woman like a queen and one woman like a thought, but then you mentioned the fact that, there might be good and bad men, but previously we said that all men can be good. It's just the woman that they're with that they choose to be bad for or with. So one of the questions that popped up on Facebook was, what about a woman that cheats and gets pregnant? Is there any healing in that?
Well, let me tell you that this is why I say this is a distinctive difference from men and women. A man can cheat on you 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Women, you'll take them back. When a man gets cheated on, it's almost impossible for him to let that go because it is about his pride. He's always thinking of the physical act. What's this guy better? What's this guy bigger? What made her step out and cheat on me? And I'm a firm believer, minus if a woman has had some serious abuse or some serious sexual issues, I found that women cheat because of areas that they're missing in the relationship. It takes a lot just from my experience, for a woman to just jump out and just have sex with another guy. It's usually a ladder of stuff that leads up to it. Now, for those women who just cheat just for it's like this. If a man cheats, it's because he's just physically attractive to the other woman. If a woman is also cheating for the same reason that I just cheated, because women get Tayla, you're beautiful, I'm sure you get hit on all the time. And if you get hit on by a man that looks better than me and has a better car than me, which can happen every day, and you fall prey to that, there's nothing I can do to control that. You can cheat on me every single day of the week. So the key is this: you can get past it. You can try your best, but if a man is continuously cheating on you, chances are he's not going to give it. He's not going to stop. And if a woman is cheating on you, I've just found that there's something that has opened the door for her to walk out. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and here's what we know. And for most part, a woman will not sleep with another man if she's not emotionally invested in him somehow. Yeah, there are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, she's emotionally invested. By the time she sleeps with him, she's emotionally invested. So as a guy, first I'm thinking, if I cheat, it's just physical. Yes, it's something to do. She was available. We had 15 minutes between meetings or something. You know, it's just something to do. So she will forgive me more because her question to me is, do I love her? When I say I don't love her, is she remembers the 99 things I do well and not the one thing I do wrong. For me, I'm asking, did you sleep with him? Because if you slept with him, you have emotional attachment to him and you have received him. For women, sex is an internal experience. For men, it's an external experience. So now he is in your system. And what science tells us is that you will carry the DNA of every man you slept with for the rest of your life. What am I going to do with another man's DNA in you? I can't fathom that. That takes me to places I don't even want to. I can't even deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to do a whole bunch of things y'all can't take. That's what it sounds like to me. Y'all do a whole bunch of things that you could. You wouldn't be able to stand. What you said, 10%? Y'all couldn't stomach 10% of the things that y'all do to women?
Absolutely not. We couldn't.
Well, that's why we're men. We don't have to stomach it.
Y'all crazy. I need another. Where these girls, where these women at? 617-282-0062. Because I can't believe this is nonsense. This is absolute. I wish I could cuss.
Here's the thing. As nonsense as this is, when we sit down and have this conversation with women who think they're star players, they end up being played because they were really bench warmers, because they thought more of their relationship than it was warranted. They missed the signs. When we sit down and have these conversations, women are all the time saying, wow, I wish I had paid attention. Now, you may think this is garbage, chain, or whatever it is, but I'm telling you, we can sit down and if you give me a room full of 100 women, at the end of an hour, 99 of them will be saying, wow, I wish I had seen that. That would all do the one, maybe Tayla, who say this is garbage, but 99% will see something. They say, wow, I should have noticed that, and I wish I had known that, and I can make my relationship better. I can make better choices because now I know those rules, or I recognize those 6 men.
That's the key. It's all about recognizing these signs. And once you know the signs and know the rules, the men will adjust. Again, if women told men today that they don't like Range Rovers, that's not the nicest truck in the world, guess what? We're going to stop this. We're going to stop buying those Range Rovers. With men, we only have the power to choose. You have the power to accept. Mm-hmm. It's just like a job. I can apply. I have the power to choose any job I apply for. But the job has the power to accept and hire me. So who really has the power? Women. You have the power. The problem is
we don't use it correctly.
You get tied up in it, all that logic goes out the way. So when Coach is talking about with his show, with his book that's coming out, and what I'm trying to explain with my book, these men you will hear cradle to grave these rules. You will understand beginning from to end what these men are doing. You will understand the apps that men use to appear to be in 2 places at once. You will understand there's a Facebook trick men use to get caught out on cheating. You will understand how many even manipulate the 90-day rule and how many even fake orgasms. Alan, you remember we talked about that last time. We had to get a man on the show to prove my point. So once women find out what these men are really, really thinking, I'm telling you, once I change these men's names, all hands are off these men's hope from cradle to grave.
Wow. We got another call on the line, 617-282-0062. I feel like from this conversation, the topic was, can you heal from infidelity? And it sounded like, hell nah. It sounded like you should have seen the damn signs in the beginning. And now that they done cheated, you might as well leave. That's how I feel. I don't feel like we did any healing throughout this 45 minutes that we've been on the line because we've been too busy realizing that we didn't see the signs in the beginning.
Well, here's how healing occurs. You must choose to heal. And most of us, if you don't know the signs, if you don't know the rules, if you don't recognize these 6 men, we're choosing to not heal, we're choosing to ignore. You can't heal without the knowledge and the information. And so, can we heal from we must choose it, but it is not an easy task. It is a long, arduous task. And the longer we've been together, the longer we've been together, the more chance we have to staying together. Not because the healing is easier, because we have more invested and we're willing to invest more to recuperate that investment.
And again,
Go ahead, Carl.
I'm sorry, Carl. And again, when you're saying with that healing, you may not heal from that particular relationship, but you can heal yourself from making sure you don't deal with this with the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. Because women, I know some of y'all are listening, and there is a pattern that each guy you keep running into is the same thing. God is a teacher. He's trying to teach us lessons, and he's going to send teachers through me, through coach, through TV shows, through friends. But I'm a believer. If you don't learn the lesson, God will keep teaching it to you over and over and over again. And so if you are keep running into the same man over and over and over again, God is trying to teach you something. Whether you're dating a man because he has to look a certain way because you don't like the way you look, or you're dating a man because he has to have a certain amount of finances because you're not confident in your financial ability, it doesn't matter what it is. God is trying to teach you and show you what you're doing wrong. He showed me, and I'm glad I learned the lesson, or I wouldn't have found my wife.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to these calls real quick. I want to take these 2 calls real quick. We're coming to the top of the hour. Good rising, caller, you live.
Good, how are you, Taylor?
Good rising.
Yes, there's one thing I forgot to I didn't hear. Sometimes it's addiction as well too. There's some folks that so addicted into cheating, like sex, so they end up, every relationship they can't stay because they're just here just for the moment.
You know what? I want to say that is a true statement, but for the most part, these men don't have addiction problems. They have a problem with keeping their dictionary where it belongs. That's all I have to say. We're going to take this other caller. Good rising, caller, you live.
Hey, Tayla, good morning.
Hey, good rising. How are you?
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm super fantastic.
Hey, I'm going to come at this, Tayla, from an approach of a family man. Some advice to guys that I gave to a girl. And I was in a relationship where we were married, and my wife went on a cheating spree. And can you see the signs? Yes, you see the signs, but you ignore them. And I tried to work through it because we had a family with 3 kids. And for the longest of time, I thought I was doing it for the kids. And on 2 occasions, I forgave her for her infidelity. And what happened? She became more bolder. She thought if she could get through the first 2, she could go ahead and do it again. And my own take on this is to any guy out there, when someone starts cheating, Taylor, you can do all you want in good faith, in a Christian manner. You're going to go back and do it again. Save yourself, save your skin, save the heartache and pain. Kindly walk away. Go pick somebody else. You cannot cure cheating. If someone does infidelity, Taylor, they keep doing it again. So you can say all you want, it will happen again, and you're gonna get hurt more. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Whew. Well, really quickly, I want to read this comment on Facebook. Can you heal from cheating? Yes, I figure once you find the reason for the infidelity and reconcile on the issues that led up to that point. However, the truth is nobody wants to accept their role in the incident. So again, I ask you two non-experts but very opinionated gentlemen, can you heal from infidelity? And where the consensus is you can heal yourself and move on to somebody else who's not going to cheat on you, who's going to walk into your life and tell you exactly what they want without playing any games, without being the BSer, without being the chameleon. And they're going to say, you know what? They're going to, what's his Cornelius Lindsay? He's going to say, I don't want to kiss you until our wedding day. And that's going to be the end of that. We got 2 more callers on the line. We're coming to the top of the hour. I love and appreciate every single last one of the listeners, the watchers, the viewers. Good rising, caller, you live.
Is it me?
Yes, it is. Hey, baby, how are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Super fantastic. How are you?
Great. Well, I was calling because I heard something earlier about the topic that's going on. I am a wholehearted believer in a man is going to do and treat a woman exactly how he feels like he should treat her, regardless of how she looks, any type of
understand her. He's going to see her and he's going to feel whatever it is that he wants to do, and he's going to do it. Now, with that being said, we all make choices. Yes, you can get over being cheated on. Everybody can. You need to understand we're all human. We're going to do things. We make choices. So at the end of the day, you kind of just have to suck it up and just realize this is what they wanted to do anyway. So you either deal with it or you don't deal with it. All of that breaking down sides and trying to condition people, that's ridiculous. You're either here in this relationship or you're not. So once you get over that, I'm confident in myself to know I can love someone else can love me because there's nothing wrong, then, you know, you move on. There's nothing to really figure it out. It's all cut and dry. It's all these extra emotions clouding it, and it shouldn't be that way. It's very easy.
So you're saying as soon as there is no healing from cheating, you cheated, goodbye.
It's a choice, exactly. It's a choice. You have time to get out of the car. You have time to walk into the house or the alleyway that you did it in. You have time to process these things. So it's not like something that just happened. There's no alcohol. There's no truth serum or nothing like that. These are all choices that we wanted to make. So once it's done, it's done. Because this person's not here. They weren't ever there. They can just cheat on you. It's a moment. No, it's not a moment. This is what they wanted. This is how they are. You just have to accept people are going to make choices and you need to make your own.
Really quickly, shout out to Cleon James. Some of the best relationships always after the forgiveness, after infidelity, one realizes their mistakes and tries their best to treat that person to the heights. So Cleon saying that usually some of the best relationships come out of something that started with infidelity because that person realizes, damn, like I could really lose this person. I can't lose you. I will do everything to get you back. I'll do everything to make sure I instill trust into our relationship and maintain that trust. I don't know. We have another call on the line. Verizon caller, you're live. Verizon.
Long time no hear.
How you been?
I've been good. I agree with the gentleman that was on before the sister. You gotta let it burn because and heal yourself.
Hey, boo! Hey, how you been?
Turn around and do it again.
Tell your wife, tell your mama I said hello.
Stop trying to save, you know, every relationship and save myself. And I'm doing a lot better, you know, now that I'm taking that motto, you know what I mean? But they're gonna do it.
I believe you. If you hit me, then I hit you back. Yeah, we're here.
Hello. Okay, yeah. One of the things that, and I think essential to both Colin and myself, is the idea that people will tend to treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
Yeah.
That's really the bottom line. So no matter what agendas people have, people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And when you start rewarding bad behavior, people like rewards.
Yep.
So you reward my bad behavior, you're going to encourage my bad behavior.
Amen. Ashe. Say it again.
People will treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. And if you reward bad behavior, you reinforce my bad behavior and you'll get more of my bad behavior.
Absolutely. And I think like that last female caller, she's just like the first female caller. She's confident in who she is. She doesn't put up with BS. If there are more women like her, me and Coach wouldn't be in business. And for that last guy that just called, he made a good point. He says he was a rescuer. He used to rescue women. So he got to the root of what his own internal issues were. So now he's picking better. So women, you got to follow the same suit. If the man only gets along with you when he's inside of you, then you know you got an issue.
Antonio, I appreciate you, boo.
So Tayla, part of the thing is that, and really to run me and Colin out of business, what's important for women to do is they must know themselves. They must understand who they are at the very core of who they are. Because once they know that, they know what's on their list, what they must have, what they must not have. They begin to understand what their baggage is. So they know how to mitigate their baggage. Then they understand the game they're going to play. Am I in this for the long term? I'm in this just for right now. Or this guy, really, I put him in a holding pattern while I'm waiting for Mr. Right. They start, once you know yourself, you can go right through the rules and check these things off. So that
I'll ask that question,
you're ready for the relationship of your life. The problem is, if I'm brutally honest, most women don't pay the price to actually get to the core of knowing who they are. Most people don't. And if you don't know who you are and come into my life, I will define you for me and make you useful for me, and you will be useless to any man after me.
Wow. That is by far one of the most powerful statements I've heard this rising. That is so amazing. I'm going to have to rewind that for a second. I'm going to have to replay that one. We last caller of the rising. Good rising caller, you live. Baby, it's you. 3, 2, 1. I tried. There you are.
Yeah, I want to take a twist real quick. These few guys give me an opinion about this real quick. I've been dating somebody for 2 years. That person been coming come to my place numerous of times. I never visited her home. Never even tried to set foot into her crib. I've been wanting to know who she really is. All of a sudden, she wants to move in with me. Give me your opinion about that.
Okay, really quickly. So what had happened was that she was married. She was in a relationship. She was stepping outside of the relationship. You with a little booty call on the side. Dude found out about you, kicked her out, and now she want to move in with you.
Yeah. And she didn't kick her out, but she want to move in with me. I don't know if she's messing with someone, but basically she always saying that she loved me and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, she wanted to move in with me now all of a sudden.
I'm trying to tell you, old dude kicked her out. Her boyfriend kicked her out because he found out about you, and now she need a place to stay, so she love you and want to stay with you. That's my personal opinion, though.
Next best thing.
Yeah, you're what is called a fallback, and you don't want to be that fallback plan. And I'm gonna tell you, man, if she's acting like a guy, and if she is acting like a man in this sense, there are some deeper issues, my man, and you want to stay clear away from that. You want to stay clear away from that because the woman it acts and portrays male behavior. There's some deeper stuff that happened to her childhood where she's not ready to commit to any guy. So yeah, I think you may want to walk away from that.
Wow. So really quickly, we got some Facebook questions. We might need a part 2 to this because all the phone lines are going insane. And we got Facebook questions on the live as well as some in the inbox that I haven't even gotten to yet. But one of the questions from Aunt B said, people will treat you the way you allow. What does that mean? How do you allow people to deceive you when you are unaware of that deception?
I'm gonna go back to what Coach said. The signs are there. We always give you signs every time. You just ignore them. So if he doesn't call you, there's a sign. If you can't reach him, there's a sign. If that feeling like women, if you're at least 20 years of, you know what it's like when a guy really likes you. And if this guy's not doing it, you got your answer. It's that simple.
Okay, so I do this little thing called transparency when I'm honest and bluntly and boldly honest about situations. I've been cheated on before, and I've been cheated on to the point where I had no clue what was going on. I don't know if he was a chameleon, if he was a BSer, if I went ahead and put so much trust into that relationship that I didn't see the signs, but I didn't, listen, I think I have great intuition. My intuition is so strong that I'll pop up and know your password to your phone. Ain't never knew it a day in my life. That's how strong intuition is. But I saw absolutely zero signs. And then even after, hindsight is 2020, I still didn't see where those signs were. Like, even in hindsight, I was like, damn, yo, he's good. He needs a trophy. So it was 2 years.
2 years. Live in the same city?
Yes.
And so there was never any change in his routine.
No. Even in hindsight, there was nothing in hindsight for me to say, oh, chick, you didn't realize that.
All right, so I'm just going to say that brother is the Jerry Jones of team owners. He conditioned you well. And he laid the foundation before you even began. He conditioned you where you could not see. If you really go back and look at it, I suspect there are signs that are there if you really go back and dig at it. But he was so good at setting you up and conditioning you that he blinded you to everything that was going to be right in front of you. Some of your partners, some of your friends will probably be able to point it out to you.
Yo,
I don't know.
I was too, Aunt B. You weren't the only one.
From Team Owner, he's probably in Team Owner Hall of Fame. He's conditioned you so well you can't even see.
You know what? You're absolutely right. He does. He needed an MVP award. I got him a trophy too.
And I'm gonna pick it back on that because you're right. They're probably small signs that we talked all day long. We can figure it out. But again, with the conditioning, great men like that are those team motors. Are like, and I think you probably dated a chameleon in my case.
Yeah, my intuition is strong, Anthony. I told you then, and I knew what that broad wanted.
I know some chameleons that will say they're fired just to give an excuse why he's going to be away for 24 hours, quote unquote, on call. So he already did the conditioning ahead of time to be able to do what he wanted to do.
Well, we have reached all the way to the top of the hour. We have messages coming in from Facebook Live, messages on the anonymous side. We have calls coming in. Where's Nikki Curry? Can we recreate this conversation at a later date? Because I think we need a woman on this panel next time. We need somebody to chop y'all up because we need somebody to give us all the hints to the female side of it too. Because honestly, I don't think I'm a cheater. I'd rather leave. I'd rather deuce it out. Like, we're gonna have to break up this weekend. I have plans. So
I got you.
Exactly. It's not even a weekend pass. There is no pass. We're not together, so it doesn't count. Remember? Hold on, Coach. You said we're not married, so it doesn't count.
I agree with you. Amen. You don't count. So hey, that's the way it is.
Well, Nikki Curry gave us the green light. I love and appreciate both of you. Please tell us where we can find your books, how we can find you, how we can follow you, and how we can figure out how not to be cheated on and how to see the signs before the signs already take place.
All right. So you can find me. Go to my website, isthisyourman.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Author Colin Tate, Instagram, Author Colin Tate, Facebook, I'm under Is This Your Man? And again, this is about the 6 types of men women should avoid dating if they want a healthy, sustainable relationship that can lead to marriage. If you are unhappy with love, if you're frustrated, if you are ready to blame God, you have guaranteed one into one, or if not multiple, of these 6 men. So read this book. I promise you it will open your eyes.
Colin, for those who don't know, I'm going to need you one more time, Colin, to go through your Instagram, your Twitter, your website, because not everybody can spell Colin.
So Instagram is Author Colin Tate, AUTHOR, Colin, COLIN, Tate, TATE. That's the same thing with Twitter, AUTHOR, Colin, COLIN, Tate, TATE. And it's Facebook is This Your Man, or you can just go to isthisyourman.com and all my information is there.
Thank you so much, Colin Tate. Is This Your Man? And Coach Ellis, please give us all your information, how we can find you, how we can find your book, your radio show, and how we can learn about becoming coaches instead of being on the bench waiting to be used.
All right, so look, the book's not out yet, but it's coming. But you can reach me at elliscrum.net, ELLISCRUM.net. You can email me at coach@elliscrum.net. You can catch us on Facebook at The Rules, RULZ TV show on Facebook. And we're coming out with Twitter and Instagram. We're still, I'm a dinosaur, so my kids are gonna have to help me figure out how to do that. So we're gonna get online and Nick's gonna bring me up on those videos. But catch us there. The Rules, RULZ, on Facebook page. There's a group called Rules R.U.L.C. That's for the radio show.
And we'll have all that shared on Facebook as well. I want to thank both of our panelists, our experts. Mr. Nubian said they're not experts unless they interviewed 1 billion people. I get it, Mr. Nubian. We get it. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm sorry if you guys didn't enjoy the Freaky Friday because it wasn't sexual enough for you, but we got to talk about relationships too, and understanding and seeing those signs. And hindsight ain't always 20/20, y'all. So it's better to see clearer the first time around and then understand what happened in hindsight. So I think, Colin, I think I'm going to go back and go read your book. And Coach Ellis, I definitely can't wait for your book to come out. Big City 101.3 FM, Waking Up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. I love you. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an awesome day.
Yep, that's right, baby. You know what it is? It's DJ Sus One, the feature presentation. Listen, make sure you wake up with Tayla Andre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Big City 101.3 FM. Wake up with the Radio Rebel. Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. This is the type of stuff I'm into, all right? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
Hello? Hey, girl, what's up? How you doing? Girl, not good.
Oh Lord. Thank you guys. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube, for tuning in. I hope you guys have an amazing day today. The conversation doesn't end at 7 a.m. Still continue these conversations with your friends, your family, your spouse. Talk about it. Hey, are you cheating on me? I got some questions. Make sure you get Colin Tate's book. Is This Your Man? 6 different men that are not your husband, but will pretend to be all damn day long. As well as wait for those rules to come out so you can learn how to be the coach instead of being played. Love you, appreciate you, and hope you have an awesome day. Oh, my birthday's on Wednesday, boo. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes.